Channel, changing lives. Hope Channel, changing lives. Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hi, welcome back to this wonderful program and have a wonderful evening. I thank you all guys for sticking and staying with me throughout this program. From day one we started till now, you have been so awesome. May God bless you wherever you are. The program I started is The Wounds of the Heart, a program where we are to seek your welfare in terms of helping you heal any form of mental, psychological issue that it has turned into wounds in your heart. And today we have another beautiful discussion to attend to, and I hope and I don't want you to miss this segment. I would like you to tell a friend or share on our Facebook page, Hope TVGH. You like our page, share it to your pages and to a friend, a link to a friend that Wounds of the Heart is up, and we have started already. Hope TV GH on YouTube as well. You can subscribe to our channel, and please share the link for people also to know that yes, the program has started. To those of us who are not home and we are still at the offices and outside, please let's tell a friend that they should go online and let's watch this program together. And if you want to join this live conversation on our WhatsApp platform, the number is 0559 680066, 0559 680066, and we will read your comment and answer any question that you have for us today. And the fabric proudly sponsored by Sleek Afrik on Instagram. Sleek Afrik Facebook, Sleek Afrique. Their numbers are their number is 0557 355 852, 0557 355 852. When you call Sleek Afrique, just select any fabric you want, and the dispatch rider will bring it just at your doorstep. Sleek, you have made me look sleek. And this guy who always put out some flyer, Alpha Art, he's into graphics, designing, stuff like that. If you need any banner, for any occasion, contact Alpha Art. On Instagram, it's Alpha Art _graphics. On Facebook, it's Alpha Art Graphics. His contact is 0551 404 38087. 0551 404 387. And Alpha Art will just do a beautiful job for you, and you'll never ever regret in working with him. And as I always say that we are seeking for sponsorship. We want to have a campus store coming next year. You've got permit, and in case you want to join, or if you think you can connect us to a firm to sponsor that tour for us, we'll be very glad. Just you can send us your contact, or you can call this number 0559 535554, 0559 535554, and we will have a talk with you, because we want to go outside to the campuses, especially the SHS and the JHS, just to meet them with what we are treating, because mostly start from that stages in life. So please, if you have any connection, if you have any sponsorship packet for us, just please call 0559 535554, and we'll respond to you, so that we can together help other people who are also suffering one way or the other in any form of addiction. And if you're a church also and you want us to come, institution want us to come, you can still call the same number 0559 535554, and we'll talk to you and as to how best we'll come to your firm. We're very glad. Today with me I have a beautiful lady who was once here somewhere in June, and to begin this wonderful topic that has gotten everyone thinking about, and every blessed day as you are watching me now, somebody is a victim to the topic we are going to discuss. And the topic is suicide. Why suicide? Why is it that a lot of people want to end their life? Why is it that people think that suicide or death is a conclusion of everything? Why is it that people are still chilling and think they'll say, why should it be so? There should be a factor, there should be a reason. And this evening, I'm blessed to have Dr. Otibudi in my studio. Doc, good evening and welcome to the program of the Heart.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
We thank God. Doc is fit and like Freddie. Last time she was indisposed because of some few ailments, but today God has made him ill. Doc, because of we started way back. We started what suicidal ideation was. We had a chat, but because it has been a while now, I'll be very glad that you just tell us what suicide is, the risk factors, the causes, and whatever about suicide, so that my viewers who are watching now or who just start watching will understand what suicide is, and so that we can continue from there. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And it's a very good thing we are having this discussion, because it's something that is bedeviling the whole world. And so I'm happy to share my views on this as a psychologist. I've been getting a lot of calls on this issue. And so basically, the last time we met, we talked about what suicide is. And I said it's a purposeful action to take one's life. You know, it's like the person does it, you know. The person does it because, I mean, not necessarily because the person wants to, but because the person directly does it, you know. And most of the time, they wish there was an alternative to that situation, but they unfortunately are not able to see that alternative. And there may be several factors that could account for that. And we talked about the various statistics globally and then locally in Ghana, you know. And recently, that's just this year, the police has recorded about 147 suicides.
These are what we have seen.
Yes. And by region, Ashanti region is tops.
With suicide?
You know, yes. And it's something that we should all be worried about, you know. Region by region, you have Ashanti 61, Eastern 60, Upper East 47, and even the new regions, Uti 22, Bono East 21. So it's happening all over the country. Not only, I mean, you hear it in Accra. So we all need to be very careful about this issue. And it's also very common amongst adolescents,
okay,
especially the boys. They are 4 times more likely to end their lives, yes, than the ladies. The ladies may attempt, but they may not end it. But most of the time, the guys end it.
Why is it so? Because you guys are
all has to do with, I mean, their personalities. I mean, females and males. You can say males tend to be more aggressive than females, you know, and want to take risk, you know, expose themselves to certain things. So that's what we have seen, that they like you saying, like even as children, you see that young boys will use their toy guns and all that. So it's like they are more aggressive than the females. The females may probably take some pills or try to use a rope, you know, but usually they don't end up doing it because they are afraid than the boys.
But the females, they exhibit that more than the boys, but the boys end their life more than the girls.
Yes, yes. You see, and the females are, like, what I want to say is that they don't end up more of the times committing suicide. Because they are able to express themselves culturally. Females are allowed to cry, you know, and all that. But males often, if you cry, a crying baby, a man shouldn't cry. So most of the time, men keep their emotions in, you know, and it has a negative effect on them, you know. So we also talked about some of them. Before we come there, we also mentioned that suicide or attempted suicide is a crime in Ghana.
Yeah, that's
you know,
what, yeah.
The 1960 Criminal Code, you know, section, Act 29, section 57, that if you attempt to commit suicide, you shall be guilty of misdemeanor.
So look, I think that this clause you guys should.
We've been working on it for the past years. Mental health professionals, all of us, under the Mental Health Authority and other non-governmental agencies, are all working on decriminalizing suicide. Many countries have done it.
Yeah, okay.
So we know we'll get to that point, you see. So, because what would make somebody take his or her own life, you know, we need to consider the person's mental state. And not necessarily punish the person. If you take a fine, probably the person, when you get to the risk factors, you see that probably the person had a financial problem, frustrated, and then he attempted suicide, and you tell the person to pay a fine. Where is the person going to get the money to pay the fine? You see, it's neither here nor there. So we are trying to, or we are working on it. With Parliament and all other stakeholders to help us put a stop to this and rather focus on helping people who attempt suicide in terms of, I mean, providing therapies for them, family support, even state support, you know, so they don't, I mean, continue in that behavior. And then we mentioned some risk factors.
Exactly.
Or somebody will say causes, but we will not call it causes because we have not found actually the fact that one variable actually causes the other. But we call them risk factors. They are likely.
They are likely
because somebody may also have the same issue, but not, you know, So these are risk factors, and I mentioned mental illness as one of them. Somebody will say one of the top factors in associated with suicide. You have depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorders, you know, and many people are depressed in this world. Many people, I mean, when you look at 2017, 2015 statistics, you see the WHO came out with about 300 million people.
Depressed.
But it's more than that up to now.
You wouldn't get that.
You know, it's more than, I mean, when we check the statistics, you see that it's gone beyond that, because many people have problems in this world. Many people don't understand why they are going through what they are going through. Many people are sick, you know, and even with the advent of coronavirus, it's a serious thing. So these uncertainties, you know, bring about anxieties, bring about depression, and people, I mean, go through post-traumatic stress disorders because of some of the things they experience. They are exposed to death of a family, fire outbreak, so many things. Then they end up not being able to get back to their normal self. They end up having nightmares and are able to just relive those experiences. And sometimes they feel like, well, let me die and end this torment, you know. So there's been some links between these mental health conditions and suicide, and then also financial problems. And I always tell you that when you come to this part of our world, it's the commonest. Exactly. You know, anytime you find somebody with attempted suicide, they will mention, oh, I was owing somebody my children's school fees, and so on. So financial problems are key, especially in Ghana. What we have seen, I was giving you an example of a man who attempted suicide, almost killed himself because he didn't have anything on him, and he thought he was suffering too much. Just 200 cedis was able to help this man to get out of his problems, and he's functioning now. Look at that. So financial problems, relationship problems, even amongst the adolescents, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, my boyfriend said he doesn't want me anymore, my girlfriend, and then I'll kill myself if you leave me. Charlie. And some wives and husbands, exactly. My wife has threatened to leave me, so I'll kill her. You know, recently a man killed his wife, and when he was asked, he said, what? The wife should go with him. They should leave where they were living to another place. And the woman refused, so he killed her. You know, so relationship problems are creating a lot. There could be sexual problems as well. We have health issues, people with chronic conditions. Person has hypertension, coronavirus has set in, person is unable to breathe, problems all over the place. People are just taking their lives. And sometimes communication from health professionals to people with chronic illnesses, even when you know that the person is not going to make it the way we communicated, oh, you don't have much time, you will die next week, you know, or your sickness, we can't do anything about it. True, it could be that you can't do anything about it, but as a trained health professional, you need to be very careful in how you communicate this. Otherwise, the patient may end it all. Because what's the point?
What is the point if I should?
But sometimes patients are even able to live beyond those predictions. So give hope that things are not too clear with us, but continue to have hope that you'll be fine. You see, and they don't, I don't know, some of them are not aware, but hope does a lot for us as a people, you know, as human beings. When we think positive, we are optimistic about life, it helps with our immune system, you know. And instead of us getting so low and breaking down, we rather rise out of that situation. So chronic illnesses, some people also have history of abuse in their families. How do you call it, domestic abuse, you know, going through slaps, beatings all the time, may end up in, you know, taking their lives. And then people also have lack of support.
Exactly.
In these days, each one for himself, God for us all, you know. So when their brother or their sister is suffering, they don't even see it, you know. So I'm working. You should also look for a job. That's what they'll tell you, you know. But sometimes just a little chit-chat, get to know what the issues are. Sometimes just a little support, and then the person is fine. But you just end up, I've found a job, I struggled, so go and struggle too, you know. And sometimes people have easy access to things they can use to harm themselves. That one can also lead to suicide or attempted suicide. There are guns displayed all over, knives all over. It could be putting some or sowing some seeds in people's minds, you know. And then there is what we call societal or cultural expectations. You are a man, you are of age. What have you done for yourself? You don't have a house, you don't have a car, you are not married. So who are you? You know, so you are nobody. So why are you living? You know, so these are some of the things. So, like I said the other day, the pain to die is more intense than the fear to die. Like you ask yourself, hey, death, you want to die? Hey, no, I don't want to die. But somebody who has become suicidal, the emotional pain the person is going through, you have no idea. So it's so intense. They want to go. Their very existence is threatened. They want to leave than thinking about the fact that they are afraid to die, you know. So you may not understand that, why would you kill yourself? Why would you kill yourself? But it's a different situation when you are in that state, you know. That is why they need a lot of support. And that is what brings us to this year's theme.
All right, so before you talk about the year's theme, viewers, we are discussing why suicide. Doc has summarized last time we met. She has summarized or given us a recap of whatever we learned. We studied the other day concerning suicidal ideation. Today we are still in connection with why suicide. She has given us a lot of background already, and probably you had tried to end your life before. Probably you had suicidal ideation before. People may think it's just seen in TVs or in movies here and there. If you can share your thought with us on our WhatsApp platform, just to tell us what happened and why you wanted to end your life, I think will do us good on this program. If you can help us, your name can be, you can take your name off, but just feel free to tell us what really happened and why you wanted to end your life. And Doc said something. Death is frightening when you talk about it, but at a point in time you wanted to end your life. What did you picture about death? What was death to you at that point? I wish if you have gone through that stage before, you're going to share with a test on our WhatsApp platform 0559680066. I'll be very glad to read them. Your name can be taken off for confidentiality sake or for victimization purposes. You can take your name off, but tell us why you wanted to do so and how you saw death at that particular. Doc, you were talking. Then we enter into we have full 30 minutes.
Okay, so thank you.
You're welcome.
The day is 10th September every year.
Every year, okay.
And because suicide has become a major problem in the world, that is why we try to create awareness on a particular day. I mean, it could be done on any day, but that day was chosen. And every year there is something we do about suicide, and basically on awareness creation. You know, so this year the theme is creating hope through action. You see, we realize that we've been talking about it. But what can you and me do so that we reduce this menace to the barest minimum? You know, so giving hope to people, letting them know that there is an alternative to suicide is what this year's theme is about. And you realize that amongst every 100 people, you get one person who died as a result of suicide. You see, so it's a terrible thing, and it's a reminder and inspiring us that we should be the light for the world, that people should look at us and see that no matter what they are going through, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. You know, so preventing suicide is key. And through action, we can make a difference. You think that, oh, but me, what can I do? By just asking somebody, how are you, is something you can do. It's an action you can do to help somebody who is about to attempt suicide. But sometimes we meet people, we don't say anything, and we just pass. You know, so as a friend, as a parent, when you wake up, are you able to ask your children how they are doing, how they slept, what dreams they had, what experiences they have in school? Are you able to do that? So all those things are actions that we should be taking. Our parents at home, our families, our friends, we should learn to be there for each other all the time, so that when we do that, we will be able to reduce the rates of suicide. I spoke about some warning signs. I'll come back to how we are going to, the action. But I want us to go through some of the warning signs again, so that
when we see those things, we know that
we would recognize it. We will recognize it. You know, sometimes you are there with people and they tell you, me, I wish I'm dead, oh. This world cries, it's not a nice place. See, you take it for granted, like, why do you want to die? Oh, stop talking nonsense. But you need to follow that conversation. Find out why the person wish he or she was dead. And sometimes they draw away from that topic, but follow through with it. Ask them again, are you okay? What's going on? Do you need somebody to talk to? I'm available, talk to me. If there's any small thing I can do for you,
so you're blending the action, giving you the action.
So you see,
to the science.
So you see this.
Exactly.
When somebody tells you, I want to die, the person keeps talking about death.
Okay.
Then you have to be careful.
Exactly.
When somebody talks about death, it's a cry for help.
It's a cry for help.
Yes.
When someone talk about that, it's a cry for help. Okay.
That they are going through something, and so you should pay attention to them. Then, seeking for lethal means. The person, oh, I want some paracetamol. Oh, I want some Valium. What is the person going to use all these plenty drugs for?
So we shouldn't assume it's just for pain.
No. You should find out more. Is the person asking for Valium all the time? What's the person using it for? The person asking for painkillers all the time. Sometimes they are just gathering it, and then they will use it at the time they have plenty of it. And then sometimes gathering knives. You go to their room, there's so many screwdrivers, you know, there's so many knives. You wonder what they are doing with it. You have to pay attention to that.
Viewers, the signs, they are clear. Yes. Whoever takes his life or her life gave us signs that we couldn't make any meaning out of the signs. Because if you go to your son's room and you see all these things, they might think so. He's trying to fix things, but probably there's something happening.
There's something
happening. Let's be careful. Let's be mindful, and we should follow up with what my doc is telling us. Doc, please continue.
Some people also write poems. They write stories of death. You think that, oh, they are just being creative. You see? So those people too, you have to watch out for them. They are writing what is actually happening to them.
Whoa.
You see? You think that, oh, this guy, he sits down and he pours out. He's a very good writer. One day you hear that the person says, oh, what? How did he die? Such a wonderful person, you know. So sometimes people try to put their things in order. Oh, I want I'm not saying that when you want to put your will together, it means you are going to commit suicide. That's not what I mean. But people want to put things in order. They want to have all their properties in place. They want to do this. Why do they want to put all these things in order?
They are being so they just want to be very good. Like,
so we want to be careful,
okay,
so that people don't end up attempting suicide or even committing the act. And then withdrawing from others. This is very crucial. When you are there with family members, friends, and the person withdraws suddenly.
Yes,
you know, like he doesn't want to be around you anymore. No calls. Even when you call, the conversation is cut. I mean, short conversations. You wonder, what's going on? So I'm fine. Be careful. People cannot just withdraw. It's not a good sign. You know, I mean, everybody has some problem one time or the other. Sometimes people want to be alone, but when it becomes sudden, you have to follow up. Maybe the person has lost something, maybe a family member, a friend, or the person has had a poor grades at school, all grades were F. Something, the boyfriend has broken up with her, you know, and all that. So you need to find out why the person has withdrawn. Don't just take it as normal, you know. And then other self-destructive behaviors. Sometimes you see it in guys most of the time. You know, go for a car, drive so recklessly. Oh, at first they used to call it achiching or something, you know.
Yes,
people can use those things to commit suicide, you know, just taking so much alcohol. So we are just enjoying. No, he's not enjoying. He has a plan, and he will drink and drink and drink till he dies. See, so when you're in a bar, a pub with somebody in the business, you have to watch out. Sometimes they're just drinking to die. You see, he's not drinking because he's excited, but he's just drinking. Or sometimes you hear people take a drug overdose, you know, cocaine and all that. Many people, you know, sometimes they are suicidal tendencies. So they take, and then you hear that they died of them. And then the last one I'll talk about is a sudden sense of calmness.
With the withdrawal symptoms, what is the...
Apart from that, a sudden sense of calmness and happiness after going through probably sickness, after going through some kind of depression, some kind of problem. The person is cool. Like you wonder, is this not the person who lost, or it's not the person who went through this problem? And the person is like happy now. I mean, so fine. Sometimes they don't want you to suspect it. So they will just put on a fine face, a nice face. You will never suspect that they are going to do something like that. And then it will happen. So when somebody has gone through some kind of sickness, some kind of condition, you expect that this should, you know, be a problem, and then suddenly the person, oh, it's okay, it's no problem, I'm fine. Don't listen to that. Be watchful, watch out. Look out for that person, because they'll tell you, I'm fine, but they are planning something. But they don't want to bother you. They don't want you to worry. So they'll put on that sense of calmness. And then the time you realize it has already happened. So those are the warning signs I've shared with you. So there are many. There are many.
I know. So these are the real things we normally see. Because I know somebody, a guy who was using sponge all the time. They didn't know he was using sponge just to tie, and people were thinking, so he's going to use the sponge for something else. And the same sponge they saw him hang himself with, the same sponge.
So he was communicating.
So, exactly, but people didn't see it. And don't say it, don't talk like that, because those who have tried ending their lives, those who have ideation, they will tell you, I said I wish somebody would just send me messages or on WhatsApp or Facebook so that we can share with the person's thought. Those of us who have gone through that stage or that level in life before, I'm very glad if you want to share. You can omit your name, but give us the stuff, what really happened and how you saw death at that particular point in time. Doc, what is suicide contagion? What is that?
We can give it another name,
okay,
so that it will be simple for our viewers. We call it copycat suicide.
Copycat suicide, and what does it mean?
Like when we say something is copycat, somebody has done something, and then you watch it and do the same thing. You see? So sometimes we think that it is only diseases like COVID-19, whatever, that are transmissible. No, suicide can also be transmissible. You know, it can be transmitted directly or indirectly from one person to the other.
Doc, wait.
It's contagious.
Doc, wait. We know that viruses, COVID is contagious because when I cough, you need to be whatever. How contagious is suicide? How copycat is suicide?
So, suicidal behavior is contagious because of the way we report it. You see, the way we report it, the way we make people see how it is done. So the WHO is very strongly against media reportage of suicide.
But that's not in Ghana, suicide. It is normal. It is
not normal.
No, like the way reportage, I'm saying, if
the way they are doing it
against that,
the way they are doing it,
yeah, exactly,
the dramatic way,
exactly,
the media presents suicide. That's the problem. You see, front page, then they put somebody who has hanged himself on the front page of a newspaper. Repeated coverage. Probably a young man or woman committed suicide, and they would tell it over and over again how, I mean, he or she isolated himself or herself from people, how he went to school, how she went to town, what she bought, how she closed their door. You know, we keep describing these things. And then we make a large. We make a large, and then we make everybody see how the person tied the rope. You know, we bring in the fun and how the person tied it. You know, so what we are doing, we are describing what happened. And people are sitting down watching or reading. So, so all this time that I wanted to kill myself, I didn't know how. So this is how people do it. Then I'll also try. You see, so sometimes they also present suicide as something that was unavoidable. So there was nothing the person could do. Life had become so difficult. So I telling us that anytime life becomes difficult, people should take their lives. And this is something that happens a lot amongst the adolescents, you know, that once they see an adolescent attempt or commit suicide, it has a strong relationship with what other adolescents also do, you know. And then especially also amongst celebrities, people with high status in society. It's like this person, there was one actor, I've forgotten his name, but he was a comedian. And
last year, so recently.
Yeah, he committed suicide. And I watched these movies, and I didn't know he was depressed. You know, from the information they provide, it's like he's been depressed. I mean, you know, and if you hear people of that stature, you know, end it all because life is not worth living. So people would ask, who am I? Well, you know, if this person has been able to end his life, you know. So it's a problem. That is not only happening in Ghana, but it's all over the world. That's why the WHO is so much interested in how we report. So for Ghana, I was telling you about the mental authority, that we have the Center for Suicide and Violence Research at the University of Ghana.
Okay.
We have also taken the media through, and the Ghana Psychological Association, taking the media through training as to how to report suicide. You may not have all of them.
It is not.
You may not have.
Not working.
You may not have all of them adhere to these guidelines, you know. But I know that with time it will pick up.
The reason why let me chip in. You see, just last week, one of the stations, a 21-year-old boy ended his life, and the way they were narrating, as you're saying, how he went to the town. So all those signs that we said, people were seeing those signs, but they are always able to report those signs after the incident had happened. And I asked myself, so where were they when this person was going through all this thing? And with a reportage, I saw in a comic, a guy was standing under a tree and a lady was going to commit suicide. So when the lady had made up nice pawns and had trimmed the eyebrow, stuff like that, and then the guy asked the lady, "Why are you going? So, why are you going with this robe and you have made up?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to end myself, kill myself." So, then why did you make up? So I'll be at the front page tomorrow. So I want people to see that when I asked that time I was dying or I died, I was looking beautiful. But you are not there to even read what people were saying about you. So as to how we report the issue, it becomes a problem, Doc. Yeah. So I think your institute should still put some clauses.
Yeah. So we are doing a lot on this, and even in terms of the volume we give to such, you may report it. I mean, it's a news item, but how you do it and the dramatization of the whole thing. It's where the problem is, and people actually look on these and do it. There are so many instances where people have just copied what other people have done, because they didn't know what to do in their problem. And so they heard that somebody did this, they saw it, and they also tried it, and it worked for them. So what we can do is to, like I was telling you, implement these guidelines. And I know the GIJ, how do you call it, the Ghana Journalists Association would also, take this up and then educate their members on how to do these reports. We are in touch with them all the time, the Ghana Psychological Association, and we do a lot of training for them. And then what we can also do is to do a lot of screening among adolescents, young people, screening for suicide risk. That would go a long way to reduce this contagion, because you get to know what is happening way before it happens, before you talk about them. And then community and school-based programs are very important at this point, so that they get to know, they are aware about, these risk factors, these warning signs, and then they don't go into that. But when people get into suicide attempts or attempted suicide, or even end it, what do we do? What do we do? Or what can we do to prevent suicide? And what can we do to help the person who attempted suicide, and then those who even completed, the families that are left behind? So suicide is a very complex issue. I always tell you that it's very complex. It's not that simple, like, somebody has attempted to kill himself or has killed himself. It's complex, and people who are suicidal may feel trapped. They feel like they are a burden to their families. So let me just go, and everybody will be fine, So they feel like they have no options. The only option they see is death, and I said that COVID-19 has increased this because of the restrictions, the isolation, the quarantine measures, and so on, and even the stigma you know.
Around
yes. People find out that, oh, he had COVID because we haven't seen him in 2 weeks. It means that he had COVID, you know, and you want to talk to your own close buddies, it becomes a problem, you know, and so on. But these are things that we keep educating people on, that we should reach out. We should reach out to people. People are crying for help.
How do we reach out?
That's what I'm saying. That
how do we do that?
all of us have a role to play in our own small way. Sometimes it's not like, oh, you don't have to kill yourself. Life is worth living. Why do you want to die? Those things. Nobody. So how do we do that? That's why I'm coming to that. Nobody. With suicidal ideation hears that life is not worth, life is, how do you call it, life is worth living, life is good, you have to live, what. No. You have to create the space and offer your support to them. Tell them that you are there. Don't say, oh, if you have any issues, you give me a call. No, they will give you a call. You have to call them. Okay. You have to check up every day. You see, sometimes the person may not even come up with ideation or attempt or whatever, but any problem that you find somebody in, you need to reach out.
Exactly.
People may not follow up with you that, oh, you said I should call you, so I've called you. No, they won't call you, but you hear they are dead and you blame yourself. So every time in your own small way, ask them, how are you doing? Did you sleep well? How was your day? On WhatsApp, it won't take anything away from you. So that is the action we are talking about. Small talks, small chats save lives.
Small talk, small chat saves lives.
Yes. Yes.
A woman, I was treating the program, Sabbath afternoon program, talking about suicidal. It came to pass, and one lady testified that the Saturday afternoon she tried to end it all was when she had a call from an elder. The elder wasn't even calling her to act. The elder called her, sorry, how are you doing? And that alone, I didn't see you at church, and how are you doing? Yes. That alone.
She needed just that.
Alone.
Somebody to check on her.
Somebody is checking up on her, and that's all.
And that is the reach out we are talking about.
It's the most important thing we got to do. We didn't have to look at the person thinking that maybe I can't do anything. But a text now, WhatsApp is it's everywhere. Text message in the morning. How are you doing? We should stop posting selfies and doing all sort of things. But rather find, even in a week, you can take about 10 people that you have never chatted before.
Yes.
Just in a week. Now I'm going to think about these 10 people. Send them how are you messages every blessed morning for a week, and you will see what Doc is saying. They're reaching out. Somebody will tell you that, you know what, last week I planned doing this, that, but your message got me change that mind. So please let's so try that.
Sometimes you can even use the voice message.
Exactly.
You can even use it, the recording.
Exactly. Then you say,
how are you? I'm checking on you.
So.
You know, this actually creates a sense of connection, you know, and hope in people who are struggling. So the reach out is very important. Then we should encourage understanding. Exactly. So stigma is a major barrier to help seeking in this part of our world, and in so many parts of the world actually. And you see, when people become suicidal, or when people are depressed, or they have problems, it's like they want to seek help. Hey, why? What's wrong with you? You know, there was a literature I was reading that talked about, if you're a Christian, how can you be depressed? How? Have you lost your faith? You know? No. We are all Christians, but we are also humans. Just like some humans in the Bible got depressed. And so allow people to express themselves. When they are not okay, allow them to say it. Don't judge them, you know, because the stigma is what will prevent people from talking to people. That, hey, this person came to speak to me. Hey, do you know the problems she's going through? Hey, you know, so the next time she wouldn't share it with anybody. So we should encourage understanding that when somebody shares with you, try to understand the person. That, oh, I get what you are saying. I'll call you. I'll talk to this person. Let's go and see this person. Do something. Let the person know that you understand what they are going through. It's not like you are judging them. Why would you allow yourself to go through this? Are you a child? Some people will put it that way. You know, you have gone to the university and you are still behaving like a child. You say you want to kill yourself. Kill yourself and let's see. You see. So all those things are things that do not help. So encourage understanding and then share experiences. I was sharing the experience of a man who attempted suicide because of his financial problems, you know, and what he's doing or how he's doing now after he was supported. These are some of the stories you should share.
Exactly.
See, that all hope is not lost.
Exactly.
That even when you go into such situations, there's still hope for you.
Exactly.
That you'll be able to get out of this, you'll be able to take up your life again, and you move on. Look at this person. He went through the same thing, and look at him now, because he allowed himself to be supported, you know. So open up, allow yourself to be supported, and you'll be fine. So share experiences, share experiences.
In as much as people copy others people the way they die, you can use the same people as to how they came out. Exactly.
What happened, how they were able to get out of their situation. And then when sometimes people say that, oh, when you talk to somebody about suicide, you are trying to, insert those ideas into the person's mind so that the person would even take his or her life. No. When you are worried about somebody and you realize that all is not well, speak up. The sooner, the better. If you leave it that I don't want to put some ideas into his or her mind, you are rather killing the person. So speak up. Tell the person or listen and encourage them to talk and show that you are concerned. You see, tell the person you care. Let them know that you are available for anything. If you want to talk, please let me know. Stay in with the person, especially when the person is high risk. You see, especially when the person has tried. You don't have to leave the person. Always be around and let them know they can get support. In Ghana, there's support. I'm telling you, there's support. So many clinical psychologists have been trained. They are pastors, they are counselors who can help you. So when you are going through problems or you find somebody going through any issue, don't think that telling the person about it or telling the person you've seen something and you want to know what's going on means that you are putting ideas in their mind. No. The sooner you act, the better. But don't judge them. Don't judge people. Be sympathetic towards people, and then offer hope, like I've been saying. Offer hope, and then don't argue. Don't argue with people who have suicidal ideation. Don't argue with them. It's not worth it because it wouldn't end anywhere. They wouldn't hear you. So don't argue or act shocked. What? You? Hey, did I hear right? You of all people. No, you don't do that. And don't promise confidentiality. It's dangerous.
What suicide?
Yes. When you promise confidentiality, you let the person die. When somebody, you see that the person has suicidal ideation, please act on it.
So I like Doc says, so let me just speak out boldly. Confidentiality doesn't come in when it's suicide. Suicide, when somebody speak about it, please and please again, don't keep it. But rather tell somebody, let people know, let a right person know about what this person is planning. Because aside everything, when it comes to suicide, as she said, don't keep confidentiality. Other than that, I wanted to ask that those who try to commit suicide threatens those around them that if you tell somebody, I'll kill myself. I don't know why they say that. I've met people who will tell you, if you know and you tell my mother, if you tell my sister, if you tell my brother, I'll kill myself.
Okay.
Why? What makes them say that?
Well, they don't want other people to know. Maybe you found out by chance. they wouldn't want you to know. And probably you chanced on it. So if you go and tell this person, then I'll do it, you know, and all that. But remember, I told you that when it's around that period, it is only the suicide they see as the option. There's no alternative. So it's up to you, the other person, to let the person know that whatever you are going through, there's still hope for you. Can we talk? Okay. I'm here to listen to you.
Beautiful, listening.
Don't go and be telling stories of, you know, that me cry, this thing happened to me, oh, but me cry, you know. It's good to share stories, but be careful with the way you share the stories. Don't go and say, hey, Job, you see what happened to Job. You see? So we need to be very careful, especially with our communication. With our communication, because it could lead to the person completing.
But we have 3 minutes.
Yes, okay. So the final thing I would say is, when it gets completed and the person is gone, what do we do with the families?
With the family, okay.
There's so much stigma out there, especially in this part of our world. When somebody commits suicide in a family, it's like you can't marry from this family, you know, this family, they kill themselves, you know, and all that. So there are therapies, we call it post-vention therapies. Okay. They are available for such families. Okay. So don't just take it as it's okay, the person is gone. The family needs to see a psychologist. Take them through family counseling, family therapy. Get to know what the issues are in the family. Because for you may know, there could be another one, yeah. Another person in the family. So, and then therapists would actually help the families through problem solving. It's a problem that needs to be solved, but it couldn't be solved. That is why it ended up in suicide. So there are therapies available for such families. So if you have a family member who has gone through that, don't take it as it's finished, it's gone. We want to prevent other ones. That is what the World Suicide Day is about. It's about suicide prevention. We want to prevent it. We want to create hope to all people in this world, but we are doing it through action. We are doing it through action, and the action is to reach out to people. The action is to understand people, and the action is to share with them and let them know that there is still hope, and then there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
It's a good way to end the sermon. There's still hope, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Doc, God bless you for
bless
your
you
education.
too.
And I know that those of us out there, we have learned a lot. I can't go without reading those of us who joined through via Facebook. Dr. JB Fojo of Penkwase SDA Church, watching live. Suicide, a serious problem that is becoming rampant these days. Thanks for discussion today. Doc, God bless you for sharing your thought. Rue Brefo, he said this program is wow. God bless you for that. And Eric Soa, watching live from Western Region. Eric, thanks for watching. Pelosai, nice program, so educative. Thank you so much. And those of us who couldn't share your thought with us or say anything with us, thank you for watching. And those of us who are watching at home, we thank you for watching. And as I said, Fabric by Slicker Freak, Fly by Alpha Art, and help me thank Doc for coming back again to fulfill what she started in the month of June. And I hope and pray that she started another lectures other than that. I'm praying that one day she will wake up and tell also can I come back again with another topic, because we'll be very glad, because we need to educate ourselves in things that is ongoing so that we will know and learn something from it to help someone who is almost at the end of ending his or her life. And when Ma'am Doc, one action that we need to understand is that when they need money, don't say that. Try as much as possible to give them what you have. Let them know that this is all you have, so that they will know that you care most. Because my time is up, but in a minute, a woman called us that we had a call that she wanted to end her life. We went there, and after thorough investigation, the reasons why, that day she had no money. She had 7 cedis. The son goes to school with 6 cedis, 50 pesewas. She fetch water, 30 pesewas. So apparently she was holding 20 pesewas. She was selling. No one is selling from her, and people, those in the areas buy someone's the same thing she was selling. No one buys from her. So out of this, she said that day after the son had returned from school, the two of them, and I asked her, how did she get the money to buy the medicine? So as for the medicine, it's not expensive. Then I went there with my colleague, another colleague minister, and we realized that she needed help. We gave her money, bought a bag of rice, something of that sort. And when we heard later that the one who connected us to the person, we asked, and she said that she's doing very well.
Okay, then.
We couldn't have told her, we might not know what will happen after Nyamimbe 10. So please, the action that we should preach the hope through action, and that will help other people from we are saving people's life, because it is your responsibility, it's my responsibility, it's our responsibility to make sure that suicidal ideation or suicidal thought will be limited, or probably will be even taken away from our society. And I know that when we do that, it's also part of our religion. May God bless you for watching, Doc. God bless you so much, and regards to your husband, Doc Senior. God bless you for releasing your wife for me for today. God bless the family. God bless whoever watched today. And I've been your regular host. The name is Pastor Daniel Bidiaba. I'm out.